On Wednesday, I spoke on a powerful yet simple topic called motivation isn't enough. We talked about the true role of motivation and how it must be viewed as an add on and not the source. Because when we use motivation as our source to success, we become inconsistent and stagnant. Because motivation is temporary, it's a feeling, it comes and goes. And as a result, your future becomes dependent on a feeling. But today, during this session, we're going to go deeper on this topic. We'll get into the negative effects of relying on motivation. Then we'll talk about the shift when you go from relying on motivation to building systems. Then we'll end it off on the benefits of systems. Now, to my first point, the negative effects. The first negative effect is that your execution becomes inconsistent. Motivation is a feeling. It's when you feel like doing something or you're hyped up to do something for a specific reason. For example, when I was in high school, I was motivated to work out and train because I wanted to play basketball. But I realized that the days I didn't feel motivated, the days I didn't feel like doing it, I didn't do it. Therefore, I didn't train consistently. I didn't get into good enough shape, and I wasn't good enough. And as a result, I wasn't good enough until I started implementing systems to where it didn't matter how I felt, I trained. Now, the second negative effect is that it can hide in your feelings of stress, frustration, and overwhelm. For example, one day you may wake up and feel motivated to do your schoolwork. So you work hard and you turn in 3 assignments just based on the fact that you're hyped up to do it. You feel like doing it. You feel motivated to graduate faster. And that's great, right? Yeah, that's great. But then you wake up the next day and your motivation is nowhere to be found. In fact, you start feeling a little burned out and tired. And that day, not only do you not turn in one assignment, you couldn't even get yourself to read through the material. And this causes frustration because you can't repeat the work you've done before. You see, you know you're capable, but because you rely on motivation and proper systems aren't put in place, you don't execute that day. And nothing is more infuriating than knowing that you can do something, knowing that you're capable, but still feeling like you can't do it. Then you're stressed out and overwhelmed because your deadlines are coming up and you can't rely on yourself to do the work consistently. From day to day, you don't know what you're going to get from yourself. That's a very frustrating place to be. Now, the third negative effect is that it causes your future to be dependent on a feeling. Have you ever took the time to think about how if you would have done this or that in your life, or done this or done that, your life would have been so much better? If you had followed that plan or stay committed to that New Year's resolution, you might be living the life you dreamed of. Now I want you to think about what stopped you from staying committed and executing. Go on, take a second. What stopped you? It was the feeling of not wanting to do it or the feeling of being unmotivated. The thing that's keeping you from graduating, from starting that business, from losing weight, from making money, from having that dream car, from having that house is a feeling. So going forward, I want you to decide what's more important, my feelings or my future. Now that we've talked about the negative effects, let's get into my second point, the shift. This is where we're going to talk about how to practically shift from relying on motivation to relying on systems. But to start, I want to tell you about like what a system is, like the purpose of a system. The purpose of a system is to help build consistency and to stop the negotiation between execution and our feelings. So the first step is to write down your long-term goal or your overall goal, however you say it. Then create short-term goals that align and push you towards your overall goal. Then schedule it. Set an assigned time where you're going to do the work. Then I want you to set clear direction on what must be done and when. So don't go into a day not knowing what you need to do that day and when you need to do it during the day. Know what you must be doing. Set clear direction. Next, create a workspace that promotes focused time. Just do anything you can to lower the barrier of entry for you to actually sit down and do the work. Whatever it is, whether you need to set up your desk the night before, open up the tabs to the course material you have to read the next day, the night before, cleaning your desk the night before, whatever it takes, do it. Then finally, I need you to use some willpower, because starting off, even with the plan and a system, it will feel more comfortable not to commit to it and to continue doing what you've been doing. But as you continue to do it and become consistent in doing it, it becomes a part of who you are, to where if you don't do it, something feels off. Now, excuse me, I'm going to give you a personal example. When I was trying to get my degree, doing my degree journey, you know, starting off, I could work off of motivation. Motivate. I want to graduate faster. That's why I'm doing this. And that worked to start off when the classes were a little easier. I was able to, I actually passed a couple tests just based off motivation. But I realized I had more days being unmotivated than motivated. And at this rate, I wouldn't be able to graduate when I wanted to graduate. So I started putting in systems. Yes, I want to graduate. Let's be a little bit more specific. When do I want to graduate? Okay, I want to graduate in 1 year. Cool. 1 year. 1 year, 12 months. Let's say I have 36 classes. What is that? What is 3 classes a month? Okay, let's say I say I'm working on a class. I even broke it down a little more. I'm working on a class. I want to finish the class in 5 days. Day one, I already know I'm just looking through the course material, looking at what this class entails of. Day two, I'm taking the pretest to see what I already know and see what I need to study. Day three, I'm looking through the videos. I'm reading the content. I'm creating my notes. Day four, I'm reviewing my notes with the accountability partner and retaking the pretest to see where I am. Day five, I take the test. Now you see how specific that is? That makes it to where on day one, even if I feel like just laying in the bed all day, I know at least I need to go look through this course material. Day two, even if I'm frustrated, even if I don't want to do this or do that, I know I must take the pretest. But look at this though. Day one, let's say day one, I'm motivated. Not only do I look through the course material, but I go through the pretest. That's good, right? As I said, motivation is the add-on, but my bare minimum, my systems set my bare minimum. They set my standard to where I at least have to have this done. When you use motivation in its correct role, it will help you. Because maybe I can have a burst where I finish 3 assignments in one day. But what if I don't have motivation, right? My system still upholds. And I still finish 1 assignment for the day without even feeling like it. That way, I'm always taking one consistent step forward to my goal. Now, let's get to my third point, the benefits. First, systems allow you to use your energy more efficiently. Systems provide direction so you don't have to waste time trying to figure out what you need to be doing on whatever day and when during the day. Part of the frustration is not knowing what to do, that feeling of feeling lost. But systems help give you a clear path and a clear direction. Also, you don't have to waste time and energy negotiating with yourself on if you're going to do the work or not. With a good system in place, the right option becomes the easiest and the most obvious option. I'm going to say that again. With a good system in place, the right option becomes the easiest and the most obvious option. Secondly, systems help you consistently work towards your goals. We talked about how motivation comes and goes, but systems are the opposite. They are meant to stay. Think of it, let's say a fast car has turbo boosters. We know the driver can't use them during the whole race, but they add on to the speed the car already has, and it puts it over the top. So with proper systems in place, you'll always be taking one step closer to your goal. And so when you have those bursts of motivation It's like it's just it's a think of it as a turbo booster, as a rocket. It pushes you forward, but when you don't have it, when you're out of gas, your system continues to make you take one step forward. Lastly, systems ensure our future isn't dependent on our feelings. And I know what you're saying. JC, you keep talking about this future being dependent on our feelings. That's because repetition is the best teacher. And listen, it's literally this simple. Our future, we've allowed our future to be dependent on how we feel. But with systems, regardless of our feelings, when the proper systems are built and put in place, they become a part of who we are. Let me be honest with y'all. There's days I don't want to go live. There's days I'm tired. I get a little burnt. Maybe I want to do something else. Those are my feelings. But because of the systems I put in place over a year ago, it's become a part of who I am. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where me not doing our midweek motivation and our Friday deep dives feels more uncomfortable than me just doing it. And that's the place where you want to reach, where convenience feels more uncomfortable than executing. And this is exactly why I wrote my book, Graduating Half the Time, for people like you who's tired of allowing feelings to dictate their future. In this book, I show you how to build systems that work for you no matter what's going on in your life. So if you're ready to put proper systems in place and take consistent steps towards your goal, I encourage you, get your copy today. I have it in ebook and paperback version. Check it out. Now, as I close, I want you to listen to me very closely. I need you to lock in. If you wandered mentally, come back. I need you to lock in. I'm calling you to stop chasing motivation. Stop chasing a feeling and start building systems. Take all the information I've given you today and use it to build a system that works for you and pushes you towards your goal. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. And if this message has helped you, I need you to do a couple things for me. Number one, like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of this great content. Secondly, share this with a friend who can use this reminder. We all want to come up together. And remember, don't allow your future to be dependent on a feeling. And as always, success doesn't shout, it shows up. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.